So Labour's problem at the end of the day is, in a sense, they're not going to win this election by being able to try and get folk off the SNP. They probably maxed that out last year, right? They could get back the people that had voted for them last year, fine, okay? If Labour are going to win this election, they have got to be able to get votes back from Reform, and they've got to ensure that those voters, if they go away from Reform, don't go back to the Tories. They've got to win the unionist vote, and that's where they're struggling.
I think maybe, hopefully, as I understood the question, and just to give an example, so in March 2011, when we broke up for recess, there was a poll out that had Labour ahead of the SNP. Do you remember that? We broke into recess.
Oh, sure, there was movement during the campaign.
The campaign, and so I think.
I mean, rumour has it, Jeff, which I'm sure you'll deny. The person who was most surprised to win was one A. Salmon.
He was surprised, not to win, but to win as big as we did.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
I don't think we saw. But I think, and I'm not sure if there's right. Within that campaign, people kind of changed their mindset from the UK election contest in 2010 to a Scottish contest. It wasn't all that happened. And I think the question is, and Anna's putting that forward. Yeah, am I right in saying that? Yes. Could that happen?
But again, the world has moved on, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the point is that until the 2014 independence referendum, there was always a significant difference between the levels of support for the parties for Westminster and for Holyrood.
Yeah.
So the SNP, until 2014, were always able to do better for Holyrood than they could for Westminster, and the opposite was true for Labour. And in a sense, it was about, when people were voting for Westminster, they were talking about which would be best for the UK as a whole, and when they were voting for the Scottish election, it was what was best for Scotland. And the Scottish Socialities data showed that. The independence referendum, because it made the constitutional issue so central, ended that because, of course, in 2015, the folk who voted for independence in 2014 were so keen to repeat what they had voted that they went off and voted for the SNP. And therefore, and the truth is that since then, although most recently there's been a wee bit of a gap between the two, but basically voters now tend to vote the same way in both contests.